Hey y'all, this is my honey girl, beautiful soul. Honey, I love you, my baby. So, yeah, female humans are basically, we believe in karma. I believe in fate, everything's intermixed. You know, all the stuff that happens to you in life, none of that shit would happen to you if you didn't do something. If you didn't go outside your door, say you stayed in your house your whole life, you never did anything, okay? That'd be incredibly boring. But some people, you know, just have, show social disorders, they get a lot of anxiety, so they have to stay. The more you stay away from people, some people get just more anxiety and they just can't be around people at all. I totally understand that. Honey Girl and we've been everywhere. And if I didn't have, my family mental illness come into play, um, who knows what would have happened. Maybe I wouldn't be alive. If I in high school, if I would have went straight into the military, that would have been Desert Storm. So, and I would have went into the army basically. But they did send Sergeant Amir over in a skirt. She's pretty hot. I was like, is this the way you're gonna get me in? Because it's gonna work. But then I just in senior year English class, Miss Cashing, I stood up and I said, she told me to like be quiet, and I was like, I was already an introvert as a kid, because I had a lot of issues and stuff, but just more, I was shy. But the thing is, I stood up and I said, I'm 18 and I can do what I want to do because I grew up in a toxic household and, then later on toxic relationships and, you know, but the thing is, I could have done things better. If I didn't get into relationships, who knows what would have happened. Maybe I'd have more money, but I would not have experienced everything that Honey Girl and my pus before experienced. Because we've gone all over the place, and I like to say my bipolar mania took me to Idaho, and I was there, and then I knew something was wrong, and I was starting to suffer when it hit the arrhythmia, that like the peak of it, yeah, the bipolar mania, and then you hit the arrhythmia, and then you start crashing because you've dumped all your serotonin and dopamine, the stuff that makes you happy, and then I just had like the 1,000 yard stare at the gas station, and the guy's like, "Are you okay?" And it was cool. A guy came up and asked me that, and I was like, "Yeah, but I wasn't." So I had to get back because I was worried about Honey Girl. Who's going to take care of her? And then when I came back, basically they ultimately put me on the wrong meds, and I almost myself, and because it enhanced the feeling of not wanting to be here. And that's the sad fact. They still do that. And a lot of people, never come back from it, physically or mentally, you know. But it also opens your eyes to, they say that like when you've had something like that happen, your brain changes. Plus, I have my brain shocked 40 times in a year, so with ECTs, and that's very destructive on your brain. And everything they said would help didn't help. I still gotta take a picture. Maybe today I'll take a picture of my box of meds. Yeah, I believe they're in this storage. I'm pretty sure. But it's made me, just kind of appreciate life more. You know, and then I'm back here, which is amazing because I shouldn't be, honestly, with what I did to myself. And it's pretty horrific. So I'll just leave it at that. The physical and mental scars. They remind you that the past was real. This shit really happened. But it's just when you think people are going to be there for you, they're not. They're only there for you because you can still provide something, no matter how minimal it is. People will take your last breath, and they will. And the people that you think love you the most use you the most. Like your exes. Um, my last ex, she was pretty good. I mean, but in the end, you know, it was just, I was worthless, you know. And but you know, you think people are going to be there for you no matter what, and they're not. And your family, when you're the only one that's not a narcissist and self-absorbed, and then you realize that, you know, maybe I was not even part of that family ever. You know, maybe and I tell people, you know, and I'm starting to tell them more, that I don't have family, because my family's dead to me. Honestly, they are. So, especially my ex-sister. So, but you know, don't tell me I need to forgive. Uh, you know, I don't, because I am not forgiving anybody that caused malintent onto me, especially when I'm trying to get better. So there you go. So in life, you know, you can use your powers for good or bad. And I think, like with mine, my brain changed, and it's given me some things that, you know, I didn't have before. So um, you know, I can perceive things a lot more clear. I can read people really good, you know, in situations I already know, you know, that are going to be bad now. So I realized I was enabling individuals to keep up their dirty deeds, you know, not done dirt cheap. That's very it's just, there's evil out there, you know, and I've seen it, I've experienced it, and a lot of it comes at you um, with good intentions, but if you're religious, the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and you see people for who they are, you know, and that's why my circle's really small. It's just 100 girl and myself, and I'm not taking care of anybody else, because that's what it would be, me taking care of somebody else. And it's hard enough to, you know, as a man, to take care of yourself when you've done nothing but taken care of your relationships, your family, and I just don't have it in me anymore. I'm different, you know. Uh, I will not help anyone ever again, and that's the thing. And a part of me is still trying to do that, you know, especially on here, just posting, and but really, the only one that's going to help you is you. You can't count on anybody, and that sounds like, you know, a shitty thing to say, but honesty and integrity, and I'll never sell my soul for anyone or anything. And I have my beautiful soul honey girl, and I love to hear her breathe in her little snoring and stuff, and it's just us. So anyways, be like water, friends.